Okay, welcome to another episode. This is actually our New Year's edition episode of Open Mat Chronicles.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, everybody. You survived 2023. That was a rough one, huh?
Hell damn yeah.
It wasn't as bad as 2020, though.
Nah, it wasn't.
So we're good. We're good. 1865 Rod here. As always, got my man Schaefer in the house.
What's happening? Harold Schaefer in the house. Black belt under Johnny Hassett. You know us.
Oh, yeah, you guys know us. If you don't know us, go watch the old ones. You'll hear our lineage.
It's fun. It's fun stuff. So,
What are we talking about?
man, we're kind of bullshitting today because we are, we're going to talk about maybe some of the stuff we did last year, how we kind of closed it out. Maybe we can even touch on how we ended up doing this. Like, this was like a whole year in the making before we even started trying Open Mat Chronicles. And then maybe some plans for next year.
Yeah, I was thinking like what could other people do to improve their game? Because at the end of the day, we're a jiu-jitsu channel, right? So like, what could practitioners do to improve their game? Like, what are a couple of good goals they can do for next year going into 2024?
Absolutely. Hell, I can start with one of mine. I mean, I'll keep it real. One of mine for sure is to actually get on the mat even more than I did this past year, and I want to do that. Like, dude, my training used to be like 8-9 classes per week, but then, work gets in the way, and then you're like, all right, well, that slowed me down, and now I can only get in when I'm actually teaching classes, so now maybe it's only 3 days a week, and then sometimes even less than that. Life can get in your way, but
Life will get in the way.
But I got some changes that kind of happen, and I think I'll have more flexibility so I can start catching some morning classes again. That'll be sweet, dude. So really, for me, I want to sharpen my sword, man. I want to get a little bit more dangerous. I mean, I like being a dangerous human being. So I don't ever want somebody to look at me and say, "Oh, he's harmless." Damn, that'd be like the worst fucking thing ever.
What's funny though? No. But look at some people. Like, look at little Mikey Musanichi. Is that his name? Is that how you say it right?
Something like that.
Musamichi.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess up his name.
That's all good.
Kid's a phenom, dude, and he looks harmless.
Yeah, looks
He
harmless
chokes you
is
out.
one thing, but no,
He's
I
not
would
harmless.
right.
He looks harmless.
I would
Not-
never want someone to actually say, "Oh, don't worry about him. He's harmless."
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think there's like when I say there's a couple things. There's like some things that you can be as a human being, specifically as a human male. It's like you can be harmless, which is just like it's almost like a spike in the coffin for me.
You can't be harmless.
Yeah, because I don't want somebody to go, if you're harmless, that means you can't do anything. I can say anything to you, I can do anything to you, and you couldn't stop me ever. You couldn't stop anyone. That's harmless, right? And then the other one is I try not to be very emotional. I never want to be overly emotional because I always said that being too emotional, a guy who's too emotional is pretty damn dangerous.
I think that lines up with like Jordan Peterson was saying once. He was saying that you can't even really say you're a good man unless you have the capacity to do violence.
There it
Because
is.
You're constraining it and you're holding it in, but you have that ability if needed.
There you go. And I saw a meme.
Be violent, bro.
I saw a meme back in the day, and I don't know if he really said it, but the meme attributed it to Henzo, and it's like, make jiu-jitsu violent again. I was like, hell yeah, dude. I always say that. Make jiu-jitsu violent again, dude. When in doubt, punch him in the throat.
Okay, so now we're starting to see where all these little things came from. I'm learning too.
Hey, listen, man. I like to have fun with my jiu-jitsu, and 2024 will be no different. I want to have fun with this. I want to continue to love jiu-jitsu, right? And in order for me to love jiu-jitsu, I got to get out there. I got to get on the mat more, and I gotta make sure that it's still mine.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about like what could a lot of practitioners do, or what are some realistic goals that they can set? Let's just say you have a guy that he's a blue belt, like, hey, I want to get better. Everybody wants to get better in their jiu-jitsu, regardless of the belt, right?
Definitely.
What are some realistic goals that you think you could put into place this year that would help you improve your game? I have top three.
Okay.
Maybe I'll shoot my top three.
Absolutely.
One at a time, and then you throw in your little take on them.
100%.
And then together we could try to give out some solid advice. But first, let me shout out the elephant in the room. This shirt.
Dude,
It's legit, dude.
that's a disco shirt,
Yo,
man.
dude, you know,
That's a disco
straight up
shirt,
disco shirt,
and
bro.
I'm loving every single piece of that. That's a badass shirt, dude.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you. Check this out, man. The other day, you know how it's cliche, but I told somebody, man, I got shirts older than you.
Facts.
I literally do, bro. I think I got this shirt. This is a funny thing. I got this shirt in the 80s, bro.
Hell yeah.
And you know what's funny? It's been in my closet because it's just a weird shirt, right? Like I got it, I just kept it.
Right, for sure. I mean, you probably can't just wear that out to
can't
like,
wear
you
it.
know,
You can't just
it's
go
like,
to-
hey man, I'm going to Chick-fil-A, man. I'm gonna throw my disco shirt on.
Yeah. But here's the funny thing, man. I went in the closet, threw it on. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna try to put on that mirror shirt. I'm gonna probably rip it because these are real fragile. These all
Right,
every time
right,
I put it
right.
on, I lose like 3 of them. Right,
Fair
3 or
enough.
4. Yo, I have to put it on. I still fit it, dude. It's crazy,
Dude.
I still fit it from like it's a
You are ready. You are ready for the club, brother.
I know, man.
You are ready for
I'm
the
straight,
club.
dude.
Absolutely.
Got my blood work done. I'm healthy. Everything's good. We straight.
Hell yeah,
dude.
disco never died.
So that's the first thing. Hey man, if you're 40, get your blood work done. Over 40.
Yeah, be healthy,
do it,
man.
right?
Yeah, you should absolutely. That's one of the big things, right? It's like be healthier. Hell, that was going to be another one of the things I was going to get into as for something for myself.
Yeah.
Definitely want to be healthier because being healthier will allow you to fight more, to
Exactly.
be more dangerous. Everything is going to ultimately come to me being more dangerous.
For sure.
Hell yeah, dude. I want to be able to run and gun, and I want to be able to like do, dive rolls into flying arm bars. I mean, I ain't doing no damn flying arm bar. I remember when we learned the flying arm bar, I'm like, man, I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah. That was a fad. That was like flavor of the month. It was like
It's
was cool,
cool,
but
though.
It is very
It's cool.
It's
It's
very cool.
fucking super cool. If you know what?
If you can do
so
it.
that's the first thing. 2024, if you don't know how to do a flying arm bar, at least learn it. There's my request to all of you. If you don't know how to do a flying arm bar, just take the time. You don't have to be great at it, but I want you to go out there. I want you to learn how to do a flying arm bar. See, that's a side note. That's a side note.
That's a lot.
But I want you to go out there and learn how to do a flying arm bar. And then, hell, maybe even like send it to us so we can check it out, so we can just see you doing a flying arm bar. That'd be freaking. Whoever can do it the best, be like, we'll put you on the fucking show, dude.
Who did the flying arm bar? Who made that?
dude,
Who
I don't
mainstreamed it?
know.
What year was it like big though? Somebody throw it in the comments if you know when was the flying arm bar. Because I remember when I started, that was like, oh my god, this guy did a flying arm. Actually, you know what? Oh yo, I got the answer. I know. I'm gonna shout out Billy, dude. Billy.
He was the one. Yeah, okay. He's
Billy
who
Everett.
you saw it. I know. Yeah.
Yo, he did a flying arm bar in a competition.
In the comp, right? Okay.
He was one of the first ones to hit it. Now, I'm not saying he invented it, but
No.
he was a local guy that actually hit it in a competition.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Billy.
We gotta find that video. Oh, if there's video of
That'd be
that,
awesome.
we need to find that. I remember. I think we learned the flying arm bar, within my first couple of years in. So we're looking, for me anyway. I learned it maybe like 2002, 2003, something like that. It was cool. It's just like that and a helicopter arm bar. We learned all kinds of just obscure. It was the cool days of jiu-jitsu. It's before we had like super duper fancy shit. It was just like, it was medium fancy.
Yeah.
Damn, got sidetracked. Okay.
I know.
It was that fucking shirt, man. You had me, my mind started partying.
Hypnotized.
Hell yeah. My mind was like, yo. My mind was giving it. All right. So tell me one of your things. What's one of your things?
Okay, so the first thing, especially me being an older guy, you got to keep your body's your temple. You got to keep it healthy and solid. So you got to do, obviously you have to do your fitness. If you don't do weight training, man, and you want to do this for the long haul, and even if you want to just stay healthy, you have to hit weights, bro. It's no negotiating. You have to do some type of resistance training. The days of just being like, oh, I'm just good at jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying you can't be good at jiu-jitsu, but like we always say, all things equal. If you're going against a guy equal as you, but then the other guy's stronger,
Facts.
now it's not equal, and he's gonna probably he will have an advantage.
That's for
So
sure.
I would say be the best version of yourself, as cliche as that sounds, but I would do resistance training, and I would do cardio too. I actually had a long talk with one of my long friends in jiu-jitsu, and I'm gonna start doing some more cardio because I noticed that now being upper belt, black belt. I'm not even tired after I rolled. Like,
Yeah,
I
see-
do fire on just because my technique is good now, right? So now I gotta do some cardio.
And that's the thing, man. Listen, jiu-jitsu can be one of the most active sports or the laziest sport at the same damn time. Because see, as your technique gets better, you have to use less and less athleticism. And when you're using less and less athleticism, well, that means you're not working out as hard.
Exactly.
So, you might have jumped in and be like, yo, man, I started jujitsu. I was 300 pounds and now I'm down to 165 pounds because, I was a white belt and I was just doing everything and I'm out there and I'm sweating and I was fighting fools off of me. All these jokers on my ass. He'd be like, yeah, but then you're like, oh, man, I'm purple belt. Oh, man, boom, man, I'm a brown belt, starting to pick up weight again. Yeah. And it's like, well, why? What's happening? He's like, well, man, because it's not that hard. It's not that hard to keep jokers off of me. Like, I know all this stuff. Yeah. I know if they're going for this, I'm not really in danger, so I'm not scrambling as much. I feel too relaxed. I catch everybody. I sweep everybody.
Exactly.
So I'm chilling. And then you're like, oh, shit, now what? Now I gotta go do like fucking, I don't know, Krav Maga or some shit for some workouts.
No, it is facts though. It is facts. So I'm gonna start doing a little cardio because like I was relying on jiu-jitsu for my cardio, and then I just realized like you just said, it's like, man, I'm not really gassed out. Maybe Shark Tank, I'll get tired.
Right, but you don't Shark Tank. Yeah, exactly. You don't Shark Tank every day because then you're doing CrossFit. You know what I mean? Now you're actually working out constantly. Yeah.
And so you really shouldn't be getting gassed out in jiu-jitsu. If you're using good technique, you should not be getting
correct.
Gassed out means you're scrambling a lot. Those moves, those little transitions in between the positions, you're going like, using your crazy athleticism and speed and all that.
Now,
that's competition.
That's for I was just about to say. Yeah. Now, if you're going for competition, you do have to be able to do that. You got to get those fast rounds in because you need to be able to like just spike it all at the same time and go. But if it's just like, once again, if you're a hobbyist and you're just out here having a good time and you're not trying to break something or, throw out your back before you go to your regular job as a carpenter or, or you're sitting in front of that computer for the next 8 hours, you're like, damn. I can barely, I got my elbows jacked up and all this because I was going so fast. But check my 6-pack out. So,
no, that's facts.
So, yes, I think that's a very good point. Throw some weight training in there. You should be strong anyway. I think people should be strong. I mean,
check it out, man. Here's a funny thing. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. I was just gonna say, like, what if you got to open a fucking pickle jar? You got to be strong, man. Shit. Girl, for your old lady, you gotta pop that pickle jar. Well, that too. Hey, women should be strong too. They need to be able to get in there and like flex on them fools, man. Shit. But what were you about to say? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, because they always say, like in the old days, they would say, oh, strength doesn't matter in jiu-jitsu. It's all technique. But then the next sentence, they would say, oh, that guy's on steroids. It's not fair.
Right?
Which one is it? Come on, man.
Listen, I think, that, again, that's people stroking their own egos. It's like people want to go, I'm so good at jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter if they're stronger than me. And then they fight him, and they're like, holy shit, that guy was strong.
He was geared up.
And then it's like, he was on the juice, baby. And it's like, well, that's the only reason he beat me. And I'm like, well, I thought you were good. All you needed was technique. No, you need it all, man. Like, because jiu-jitsu being the complete answer back in the day was true because other things didn't match up well against jiu-jitsu. Well, it's because if you're going to do like karate and you've done karate for 10 years and this guy's done jiu-jitsu for 10 years, well, and of course there's always exceptions to the rule, but once again, I don't deal with exceptions to the rule. Let's take the general karate practitioner and your general jiu-jitsu practitioner after 10 years, they go at it. Well, if the karate guy doesn't knock you out right away, if this guy can close the distance and take him to the ground, and that's pretty much it, dude.
Yeah, that's what Royce Gracie proved, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's why the UFC and Royce Gracie proved that exact thing. It's like you did this martial art that was specialized into this for your whole life, and now here's this guy who's half your size, and he's done this for his whole life, and it just dwarfs all your stuff.
That's crazy. Man,
right?
It's so funny. I almost got into karate like 20 years ago. I swear.
Hey, man.
Because like no one knew jiu-jitsu back then.
Right.
Let's go back. It might have been 30 years ago.
Yeah, probably 30.
Probably 30, right? It was before Royce Gracie, all that. It was it was actually 30.
Yeah.
So it was a long time ago. But anyway, I was thinking about getting into a martial art, and like karate was a big thing back then.
Hell yeah.
And I had a friend that was like, he was a high level karate guy, and he was going to teach me everything. He had mats in his house. So I didn't even have to pay it. And he's
Hell
like,
damn
oh,
yeah.
He's like, I'm like, well, what am I going to do first? He goes, oh, you're going to be doing the katas. He goes, oh, you're going to be doing katas. You're going to be doing katas,
I remember doing
katas.
katas.
Like, yeah, I'm out, dude.
And they're awesome.
This ain't going to fit for me, dude.
Listen.
But, bro, you know what, man?
There's a place for it.
That was the best thing I ever did was to not do that.
Right? That's
That
pretty
would have
cool.
been useless for me. It would have been, and I'm not, maybe it wouldn't be
Not necessarily useless, but hell, your life would have taken a different path.
Totally different.
Totally different.
I'd be trying to roundhouse somebody. And you know what the thing is? Like, I already know, like, out of the gate, like, I'm not the best, like, striker and kicker and all that. My body's just not really built for that. So I was able to identify, like, that's not really for me. You know, if anything, I would do some type of wrestling or grappling.
Right.
And then when jiu-jitsu came, I'm like, oh, my God, that's it.
Perfect. And that's how you got to do it, man. Like, listen, there's nothing wrong with cross-training. And in fact, that's kind of what we're saying here with lifting weights and stuff like that. If you want to be more well-rounded, even in your jiu-jitsu, then, yeah, maybe you should take a CrossFit class. Maybe you should take a kickboxing class. Maybe you should add in some weight training because you want to be a little more well-rounded, not so much to the detriment of your jiu-jitsu, but as an amplifier. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of strength when you need to pull out of an armbar, it's useful. A little bit of strength when you need to actually move somebody into a position to slap on, a clock choke or whatever. You got to pull them out of the turtle position a little bit, shove that knee in, work that clock choke. It helps, man.
You should be.
It helps.
You know, too, like it kind of bothers me when people say like, "Oh, don't use your strength. You should never." Like, really? Like we have a big guy in our school now. You know, white belt, big old dude.
It's awesome.
We talk about older guys.
Hell yeah.
He's legit. He's learning fast. And I tell him like, use your strength, bro. It's part of your game, but use it appropriately. You know, it's like if I roll with like a really small guy or a girl, I'm gonna try to stay maybe 10% ahead of them strength wise.
Dig it.
Not like try to use all my strength and smash on them. Right?
Yeah, listen. There's no reason to.
There's no reason to, right? Yes. But so I say use your strength as part of your game, though. Like if you go up against another guy that's your size or whatever, do use your strength.
Absolutely.
That's like no one's gonna tell a guy that's all flexible, Gumby, hey man. That's not fair that you did a Berimbolo on me, man. You did a little quick M&R roll. You're super flexible. You shouldn't do that, man. That's not fair. Don't use that.
Stiffen up.
Yeah, stiffen up. Dude. Don't do that. That's not weird.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it is what it is. This whole thing is weird. Jiu-jitsu is weird. Shit.
But you know what I mean? No,
I totally know what you mean.
Who's going to tell Shorty, hey, man, slow down, Shorty. You weigh like 110 pounds.
Right.
Slow down, bro.
Yeah. If you're fast, you're fast. If you're strong, you're strong. If you're flexible, you're flexible.
It's one of your attributes.
There it is. Use it. And this is why jiu-jitsu is an art and not a science.
Exactly.
Because an art allows for different pros and cons per person. Each person brings a little bit more of this and a little bit less of that. Yeah. But it's still jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? It's still jiu-jitsu is their own. Jiu-jitsu is supposed to be your own. You're not a robot.
Exactly.
And that brings me to my next thing, right? Because you're not going to be a robot. So in 2024, if you would like to see your jiu-jitsu progress, don't be robotic with it. Always give your instructor some respect. Work on what they're working on, okay? Don't go out there and see he's doing a freaking mounted arm bar and you're like, hey, man, you know what? I'm going to learn this heel hook today. Slow your roll there, champ. What you need to do is get in there, go to your class, learn what you're learning, and then during the free time, during the open mat time, say, hey, you know what? Get a couple of your buddies, like, yo, a couple of you jokers want to work on this? It's like, because we've already done what we're supposed to. This is our free time. So it's like, learn what you're learning, but then if you're going to make jiu-jitsu your own, you do have to have a plan. So start to map out what you would like to see. Map out a sequence of events from takedown to submission, right? It's a good way to create a scaffolding that you can build upon. You want to get a foundation and then build your scaffolding. And then once you build that up, then you start adding things to it. It's the way you build anything, right? They put stuff around it and then you
gotta have
build your structure. You got your foundation, your scaffolding, and your structure. So if you know that, man, I want to be the armbar guy. I want to be the guy who, like, when we start this roll, they go, oh shit, here it comes. Watch this armbar. It's like he's going to win by armbar.
Yeah.
If you want to be that guy, then figure out your game, whether it be I'm going to pull guard, and maybe you'll pull guard right to an armbar.
Try to get to that position.
Or I'm going to hit this double leg. I'm going to dump him. I'm going to go from side mount, and then I'm going to slide it over, bow, knee on the belly, or freaking slide to full mount, hit that armbar. Like, start having your plans mapped out, right? And break it down into its sections. Say, okay, first things first, what kind of contact am I going to make with this guy when we start? Boom, we slap hands. How do I make contact? Am I wrestling him? Or am I going to kind of set it up more like a judo situation where I'm putting hands on them and I'm going to pull them down or dump them or drop Sayanagi? I always suggest drop Sayanagi because that's my shit. But map it out and pay attention to it and have someone recording you. Like actually kind of journal it. You know what I mean? So your journal doesn't have to be written. Your journal can certainly be digital. It can be, video. But create a plan and work your plan. Is that too much?
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say keep working on your strengths, the things you're really good at, perfecting that. And then I would say on the other end of the spectrum, work on your really, really, your weaknesses basically. But the middle ground, I wouldn't spend that much time on. I'll give you an example. It would be like Michael Jordan, right? Working on his he's really, really good at like dunking, right? Like that was him flying through the air, wham, snap, right? So let's just say there's a spot that he wasn't really that good at. Why is he going to spend all his energy on that? He's not. He's going to be great at that one thing. He's great at that. He identified that he's good at this particular style, right? It's like Mike Tyson. He was good at this particular style,
right?
And he really perfected that style. So it would be like Mike Tyson. Oh, I'm really not good at like sitting back and doing like Muhammad Ali style, floating around, like dancing around. I'm gonna really work on that. Like, bro, that's not you, Mo. That's not you, Tyson. He knows his strengths, so you got to work on your strength, but work on the weaknesses to a degree, but don't obsess over the weaknesses. That's how I would think.
I would say with the weaknesses,
address them, but don't
tighten them up so that they aren't detrimental to your game.
There you go.
Like, make sure that if your weakness is, I don't pay attention to this arm, I always stick it out.
Yeah.
Well, stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, control that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be, I have to make this arm the most deadly thing on my body. Nah, you don't have to do all that, right? And so, hell, man, if you don't mind me, like piggybacking on that, that kind of is the thing where people go, work both sides, work both sides, work both sides.
Oh, my goodness. See, we're on the same page with this one.
We are.
May not agree with
and if you don't agree, please drop that shit in the comments because we can go back and forth about that a little bit, right? I am of the mind that you should be really good on one side, right? Because it makes more sense to me to be really good and really dangerous on this side versus being mediocre on both sides because you're splitting your time. And I want to say Marcelo put something out like that before. He was like, look, be good on this side. And they go, well, what if the guy's not on that side? Well, when you're on this side, be good at getting to your other side.
Yes.
It's like this is, see, that would be the weakness. That would be the weakness. If that's your weakness from this side, tighten up that weakness by making it strong enough to get you to your strong side. I can't think, to this day, dude, how many times when I'm teaching a class, right, and then I go, I find a guy or a girl and they're opposite handed of me, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm watching them and I'm like, my mind kind of, like if I was a robot, you would see gears shifting and shit in my head because I'm trying to go like, this doesn't look right. Why can't I do this?
It's like, go to the other side.
Right. And I want to do that. I want to go, just fucking do the other side. But then I go, no. Let me make the adjustment. And I can make the adjustment. I've been training long enough that I can do it. But I have to consciously do it. I can't just flow to the other side.
Yeah. It's by habit. We just say, okay, do 5 times each side. But really, I'll even say, remember Dan Hawley? Shout out to Dan Hawley, man. He was like probably one of our top grapplers. He's
he's
very
really
technical black belt.
Without
really
a doubt.
proficient. Yeah, not even
super smart guy too.
Yeah.
Super smart guy.
Yeah, I think he's got his doctorate.
He's wild.
But anyway, he was like, okay, what's better? What's easier to do? Is it easier to learn how to write? Let's say I had to write a book with my right hand. Is it easier to learn how to write that entire book with my left hand, or just take the pen from the left hand and put it to the right hand?
Boom.
I'm like, yeah, you kind of sold me. I can't.
Keep it simple.
I can't argue that logic.
Keep it simple.
It's like, just get to your good side.
Yeah. Right? I was like, I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use all that energy on new moves, new techniques, everything else.
And that's what you have to ask, right? We always talk about this. What is it? Diminishing returns, right?
Yeah, diminishing.
It's like, how much time are you willing to put into getting a side that you're not good at mediocre.
And here's a funny thing: the old school guys will argue that tooth and nail, but when you see them roll, they always do the same side.
100%.
They'll go the freaking knee slice on the same
100%.
side, like,
because that side works. They're like, well, just do it anyway. Just do what I told you.
Because it sounds good.
It sounds great.
It doesn't, in reality, it's
practically it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's like, come on, man. You invest your time and energy on what gets you the best returns.
Yeah.
And if your best returns are, hopefully in 2024, the flying armbar. No, I can't. Hopefully, right?
Maybe. To make it new again.
I'm trying to bring back the flying armbar. I don't know, man. I think I might have saw it in like a fucking movie recently or something. Everybody do a flying armbar. Anyway, yes, diminishing returns. This is my opinion. I think it's 1865's opinion too.
Yeah,
don't waste your freaking time.
Yeah.
Just get really, really, really good on one side, and just make sure the other side is not so bad that it's to your detriment. Just don't get submitted because your other side's stupid.
Exactly. But just to clarify, like what I was saying before, you should definitely work on your weaknesses. But I'm talking, like you said, on weaknesses that's actually really, like you said, detrimental to your game. Like,
for sure.
Man, every time a guy gets me in technical mount, I get armbarred. Then you need to fix that. You need to fix that.
So,
and I would say let people get you in technical mount.
Yes.
Let them get you in there.
Start from technical mount.
L's, and you're going to figure it out, and then you'll have that in your back pocket, and then you're good. And you move on to the next thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the next one, you got this one, or you want me to kick you down?
Go ahead.
Oh, shit. Okay. This next one is one from 2023 and 2 and 1 and 20. For me, it's check your ego at the door. If you are a jiu-jitsu practitioner and you're just, especially newer ones, if you're getting into the game and you're like, I gotta win, I gotta get this tap, I gotta tap this guy, tap this girl, oh man, you know what? I rolled with a black belt the other day and I got him and this, that, and the other thing. Now, mind you, this is in the gym during open mat.
Yeah.
If you're out here,
did you really get him?
Right? You're like checking names off of books and shit.
Yo,
that's another one. I know. That's another one. Got another one. Nah. It's like if you're chasing after that shit and you're writing people's name down in your enemies list book and shit during open mat when everybody's kind of just chilling and half-assing, cut it out. That's your ego just running wild with you. Check your ego at the door. When you walk into the JoJo, when you walk into the gym, your school, your academy, whatever you decide to call it, check your ego. Let that shit stop at the door. Come in, be an open book, learn some shit, right? But then also, if you have a plan, work your plan. Don't think that you're in competition with your teammates. Don't be the king of practice, right? Yeah. You don't need to come to practice and be like, yo, I'm wrecking everybody, especially when you never told them that they're in fucking competition with you at this moment. If you show up and you're like, I'm in a competition zone and no one else is, and then you're like pounding your chest, and like when they win the fucking thing, they rip their gi open and they're running around and shit. Dude, you didn't even tell this joker that you're really fighting, man. He was just chilling. He had a 16-hour shift, and he's just coming here just to get a little bit of light rolls, and he's like, and you jump on, you like, today's the day.
Or I'd say if you do that, at least, because some guys are going to do it, they have it in their blood, right? And that's fine. Be consistent, though. So when somebody from another school comes in, or you got this stranger, you don't know who he is, you don't know, do the same role. Give him the same
Keep the same energy, right?
Keep the same energy, right?
Fair enough.
Don't pick and choose.
Yeah, don't just say, I'm familiar, right? I'm familiar with this guy, so I'm just gonna fucking crank it up so I can get this tap. Well, if you're gonna do that, right? If you're gonna do that, give them the heads up. Say, hey, you know what? Let's have a match.
Yeah.
Like that was the one thing also, John used to always tell me, Hassett, he used to always tell me, he was like, if you're going to do it, he's like, if we're going to go at it like this, everybody else, get up against the wall, get out of their damn way, and say, hey, we're about to have a match. And we did that often. We would man, it was like the Soul Train line where you got everybody around and shit. So we would say, okay, you and you, get to the middle.
There you go.
Let's have a match. 5 minutes, go. And then you're like, okay, now you want to go balls to the wall. Now you want to put it on somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now they're ready. They're
Exactly.
they're like, oh, I'm going to put it on you. You're like, no, I'm going to put it on you. But at least you're not catching them by surprise. Like if I go out there, I'm a very just laid back role. I am. It's just my personality. I think that's my personality comes across in my jiu-jitsu. And if I'm chilling, because I'm listening to Bob Marley in the background and whatnot, I'm laid back. And if I got somebody who's like flying all around, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's like the Tasmanian devil. I'm just kind of blocking, protect my neck, Wu-Tang Clan style. And then, if I catch him, cool. I hit him with a sweep, put him in a yoke. but if I don't, that's okay too for me. But again, that's just me.
That's so funny.
That's me. I check my ego.
And it's so funny because I think my jiu-jitsu is the way I talk here. Like I'm pretty chill, but then I get excited. All of a sudden, I'll be like going 50%, then 120. Like
hell yeah.
And then back down to 50, 120 for a second.
But that's microwave, baby.
That's okay,
that's microwave. Look, you went from microwave to 1865 back to microwave.
I did slow down a little bit though.
Yeah, but you're doing it by choice, which is awesome. See, I always think that's very impressive too. See, you slow down not because Father Time, because you're kicking Father Time's ass, but you slow down because I think your jiu-jitsu's matured as well.
It's matured, yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody's jiu-jitsu should mature. So
if I'm the same, that means there's no development. There's no character development.
Yes, you must have your character development. If you're going to be the main character in your own story, you got to have some arc. You got to have that character arc. You have to show how you're getting better. You went through your trials and your tribulations and you did something good. You got good at something. Yeah. So what else can they do to keep that character arc going?
Okay, so I would say your mindset, right? Like set realistic goals and try to remember why did you start jiu-jitsu? And I know that reason may change over time, right? So let's say you started it because you wanted to learn self-defense and now you're 2 years in, but that's still your goal, but you're in a school and you're doing all sport. Try to kind of get back in touch with that self-defense and try to maybe adjust your style to that accommodates that version of jiu-jitsu a little bit better.
That's,
I would think,
fucking brilliant. I like that.
Yeah, thank you. But now here's the flip side. Let's say you started for self-defense and then 2 years later you're like, man, I know I started for self-defense, but I love it. It's a sport now. I don't really care about that anymore. I think I'm good enough to take care of myself. Then go ahead and explore it, but just always keep in mind why you started jiu-jitsu and try to adjust to that.
I like that. And if you are a self-defense guy, because I honestly...
It gets washed away sometimes.
I am a self-defense guy.
Yes, I know.
My fighting is for self-defense, right? Punch him in the throat. When in doubt, punch him in the throat. I'm a self-defense guy, and I like the fun of jiu-jitsu as well, right? I think within the first year or two, your self-defense is solid.
Yeah.
If you get caught out there, you'll probably be okay. And if you then shift over to sport, you run the risk of maybe building in muscle memory that could get you knocked the fuck out. But I think after, if you get into a fight and you catch that first shot and they don't knock you out, you might be, oh shit. I think that self-defense part will kick back in. It'll kick back in.
But I'm wondering, even regardless, though, even if you're a self-defense guy and you're training jiu-jitsu on a regular basis for years and years, you're training against guys that know jiu-jitsu, right? Yes. So then when you get that spazzy white belt, those should be your best guys you want to get. Yeah. No, because they're unpredictable.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Those are the ones you want to fight. But when you do that, you must be cognizant of how they fight and the erratic behavior.
You don't know how they fight.
They might throw an elbow. They might headbutt you. They might slam you. And then you go, oh shit.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, but you know what? But you stay calm.
Yes.
You stay calm. You just have to be ready for it. I think most of our injuries, I'll say most of my injuries come from a white belt usually. I usually don't get hurt with upper belts. Very rarely it'll be because I'm completely letting my guard down.
I've had that.
All right. I'm just feeding them stuff and then I'm like, here you go. And they grip it and rip it. And I go, damn, well, I'm out for a week or two and that's my fault.
Yeah, it's ultimately
I'm
my
like
fault.
that was my fault.
I haven't fed them stuff, but I've had stuff to where I've been kind of chilling a little bit, and then maybe they exploit that. And that's happened a few times.
That
but
sucks.
At the end of the day, I know, but it is part of it. It's part, you learn. I mean, you just learn and you get to know different people, different personalities. But I mean, it's nothing personal. It just happens.
No, and I never
don't hold
take
any animus
right.
towards anybody at all for that. It just because you know what, I've hurt people, bro. I've had that one guy freaking quit. I actually had like 2 or 3 people quit.
Yeah, I had a buddy
it's
of
all
mine.
done to leg locks.
Yeah, I broke a guy's ankle before.
It's always legs.
I know. I felt so bad.
Legs will put you out, huh?
They will, and he never came back to jiu-jitsu.
No.
I'm sorry again.
I'm sorry. Public apology to the 3 individuals.
He knows who he is. I'm still cool with him. But man, I felt terrible. And it was an accident. It wasn't like, oh, I'm breaking a leg today.
Yeah.
It was such a freak.
It was me like at a blue belt level and just going crazy because I had that pit bull mentality, just trying to get it. You know what I mean? And that's where it happened. So like when I look back, it's like I can't get mad at those guys for doing it to me. That's just like
right. That's why
it's on me.
It's on me.
Bitter.
Yes.
I should have defended.
I need to pay more attention. I'm like, if I really leave it out there, it might get cut off.
Exactly.
So you have to be aware of it. Damn. So there's that, and then. The other thing for me is going to be consistency of training, right? How many times have I just told people, if you just keep showing up, excuse me, you have to keep showing up. You can't go, hey, I'm gonna come in on Monday, I'll be back in a month or 2, and then oh man, I'm gonna get 5 days in, I'll see you next month or 2, with some exceptions. Because fucking Trevor can do that for some reason, and he comes back and he's like better, dude. He comes back better every 5 months. It's so weird.
He's got to be doing something. I
know. He's like watching videos, like downloading that shit to his head, like the
every
Matrix.
Time he comes back, he's more athletic and doing crazier stuff. Like this does not look like a guy who's taking 6 months off.
But that's the exception to the rule, not
he's
the rule.
Exception. He's an outlier.
Most people, if you don't have consistency, you're not going to do as well as you could in 2024. What you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get out there and just keep training, right? You might have a terrible day. You might be like, yo, I don't know how I could suck anymore at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And you're like, why am I doing this? It was just that day, man. You get up, brush yourself off, and you come back. Our boy Chin, what does he say? Get 1% better. Show up.
Shout out to Chin.
For sure.
Day, man. Chin, you need to get back in here, Chin.
You know, if you get up and you go with the intention to get 1% better than you were the last time you were on the mat, say, whatever I've been working on, I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more. And then you come back the next time, whenever that time is, I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you just keep getting a little bit better. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'm looking to my left. I'm looking to my right. This guy's getting better. This gal's getting better. They're doing better than me or whatever. Judge yourself first and foremost against yourself.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
Make sure that you're doing your part. Don't worry about what other people are doing, right? You have no control over what other people are doing. You can only make yourself better or worse through your own actions.
Yeah.
You have to take personal responsibility. You take accountability for what you do. If you're fucking slacking, don't point fingers. Don't make excuses. You're like, hey, man, this is bullshit. Blah, blah. It is what it is, right? Get out there and train. Right? You got to train.
Yeah, and I even tell people sometimes, like, they can overanalyze things, overthink it. Honestly, you could literally turn your brain off, right? And just come in and train like 3-4 days a week and you'll still be good.
Facts.
You will still be good. I'm not saying don't do your outside research, YouTube, and don't do all that stuff if you want to, but you could literally turn your brain off and come in consistently and you will be a solid practitioner. You will be good. Don't overthink it.
For sure.
The most important thing by that analogy is showing up and, actually participating in this.
Yes. Just show up.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, because even so, you might have an instructor who has like this dialed in freaking curriculum that they're going to say, day 1 is this, and here's what it's going to look like day 365.
Yeah.
And you can follow that path, and you're like, damn.
You miss a day.
Right. You miss a day, but maybe,
right.
or maybe he has the built-in redundancy days and shit like that. And you'll be great. You'll be able to learn that way. Or you could have the sporadic instructor who goes, hey, this week we're doing this, next week we're doing this, in the middle we're going to do something else. On this class is going to be different than this class, it's going to be different than from this class. You're going to have 5 different classes in 1 week. And that's fine too if you keep showing up. Because even when it's kind of scattered that way, you're still getting something. You're getting familiarity with the mat. You're getting to understand at mat time. You're getting to understand where your body is in space and time, and you're like, okay, this feels funny. Yeah. Avoid it. This feels good. Go towards it. You know what I mean? It's
right. No, you're right.
It's just repetition.
You know, funny? A lot of the stuff like being a black belt, it's just a lot of mat time.
That's it.
And a lot of it's just awareness. You know, like just rolling like, okay, I'm not gonna let him get that lasso. You know how to base out. You know how to not get bamboozled. It's just like the little stuff that you feel that you know. Like Gus was saying that he goes, it's not what you know, it's what you feel.
There you go.
You can't learn that. You just have to. You have to kind of experience it through time on the mat.
For sure.
You can't just take a course and understanding where your body is. Like you probably could, but it wouldn't stick.
Dude, I can think of so many times when I'm just rolling and we're flow rolling, and I, honest to God, I close my eyes.
Yeah, you're not even thinking. You're just like, all right, I know what to do.
I close my eyes and I feel where they're at. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. Yeah. Boom. I was like, I know that I got this over under. I got the buddy hug, the seatbelt grip on them, and I'm like, I just close my eyes. I'm like, all right, I'm chilling. Which comes back to the other thing. You're so damn relaxed that you're not really burning any calories.
Cardio. Okay, I got one more. This may be my last one. This is my last one. Okay, so a lot of times in jiu-jitsu, we think that we're in a slump. We're like, dang, man, I'm just suck. And you know what? That's never going to go away. You know, even as a black belt, like I think it happened to me like last month. I'm like, bro, I just suck. I just felt terrible. Nothing happened. I wasn't like getting submitted or anything. I wasn't. It was just a normal week. But for me, I just felt like I wasn't moving well. I wasn't doing transitions well. I just felt like crap. But what happens is if you think you're in a slump, you're actually getting better. Sometimes you're going through something, because I was actually working on a lot of different moves. And I think it was like subconsciously I wasn't getting these things down. But that's really what it is that you're actually getting better. When you think you're in a slump, you're really not.
It's like a plateau.
Yeah, you're kind of plateauing, but just ride it out. Just grind it out. And next thing you know, like, I'm good. Like I rode last Friday, I was like, dude, I'm home.
Right? It's like you were just you were going straight, you're building up, and then you just take off like a rocket again. I've seen that.
Like peaks and valleys in your jiu-jitsu journey, right? Just
absolutely.
Like weight training or any other sport, you're gonna have that. It's par for the course.
Dude, how many times have we got stuck at a freaking bench press weight? You know what I mean? And you're like, damn, I can't get any higher. And then what do you do? Sometimes you lower it. Right. You lower the weight sometimes, and you're like, I'm just gonna hit more reps. And next thing you know, the reps have built up. And then you bring that weight up, and you're like, "Oh shit! I already busted right through this plateau." Yeah, you're right. Yeah, dude. Okay, I like that. So a lot of the key is still showing up, doing your thing. It's like even if you feel like it's not really going your way, keep showing up.
Keep showing up.
You know what I mean? Just for everybody who's got a kid and Finding Nemo, that Dory fish is like, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. You just keep on keeping on, right? That's it, man. And honestly, you have to like. You still need to love jiu-jitsu.
But you will love it if
you love it. If
you're this committed, you already love it. So
if you're thinking about it, you're going through your mind. You're like, well, man, how come I'm not getting better, or how come I'm this, or how come I'm that? If you're dreaming about it, you're already in love with jiu-jitsu at that point.
Do you have jiu-jitsu dreams,
dude? Of course. I've had jiu-jitsu dreams. I've had throw in
the comments if you have jiu-jitsu dreams.
What's your best jiu-jitsu dream?
I have jiu-jitsu dreams. I think we all do.
Who are you fighting?
I'll just say anybody. It could be
just
some
anybody.
Random dude.
Right,
but like,
if
ever I'm in an altercation in a dream, I'm always doing jiu-jitsu.
Makes sense.
I'm not like just punching. I'm like,
right. You don't just start John Wicking them.
I'm not trying to get him like in a rear naked choke or something. Like, it's so
hey, next time you have a dream, dude, get a flying armbar.
Get an Eminari roll.
All right, fine. All right. That's right. You like all the foot stuff. You playing footsies all the time. All right, so
I think I know
we are good. Listen, everybody. It's 2024. I want you to have a really happy and productive new year. Yep. Get out there, kick ass. If you're ever in the Rockland area and you want to see us, come see us. It's fun.
Infinite Jiu-Jitsu.
Absolutely. Shout out to Infinite.
Shout out to Gus.
Shout out to Gus.
Gus is solid, dude.
Yeah. This is our personalities. Like what you see here is honestly what you get. Maybe not that shirt though, but I don't know, man. Man, I think you should just start.
Part of it is me.
Okay.
So right,
I take that back.
Yeah.
It is absolutely your personality. Absolutely. It's just not your regular dress. But I think you need to incorporate that, man.
I might start rocking it.
I might fucking get me one too. I ain't
Or
gonna
you
lie.
get a gold one. That'd be tight, dude. Yeah, silver and gold. That'd be tight.
Yeah. Oh man. Damn. All right.
Anybody knows where to find this shirt from the 80s?
In purple. Purple and gold. My fraternity
and gold,
colors.
dude.
Purple
I
and
wish I did the
gold.
brand.
Oh man.
I don't think they're still around.
I could probably go to one of
probably
the
did a
spots and
run.
get it made.
No, man. Honestly, you know, it's funny. I did look at the brand. I went on eBay. You can't even find it.
It's gone, huh?
It's gone, dude. They probably did a run of like 100.
I don't know.
Speaking of run,
But
we gotta
see-
get our OMC shirts going. We're gonna get.
Oh
the
yeah,
orders for
yeah,
you
some
guys.
Open Mat Chronicle shirts. We will
we're
have
gonna
to
get some
that.
merch going for you guys.
But damn, see, but now you telling me I can't find that shirt, and here's what I say to that, Rod. If it's important to you, you'll find a way, and if it's not, you'll find an excuse.
That's it.
Happy New Year,
Happy
everybody!
New Year.
Can't wait to see you guys on the mat. Can't wait to see you in the comments. Open Mat
Peace.
Chronicles. Peace. Us. Good stuff. Good stuff.